Snow explodes upward. A white wing slices the air, impossibly slow, like someone forgot to render gravity. A blink, a pause, then silence. Mid-flight, mid-mystery, Japan. Mist drapes cedar forests and frozen wetlands, islands stitched together by weather and time. Colors feel dialed too high, motions too clean. Something's off. Subtle, persistent. A place where birds don't just fly. They glitch. Fragmented moments, caught between frames. Across this landscape live 15 species that look unreal by accident, not design. Tails that trail like brushstrokes, faces painted too perfectly, bodies lit as if from within. Nature overshooting its own budget, not fantasy, not filters. Just evolution taking risks, bold ones. These birds matter together because they reveal a pattern. Isolation pushing beauty to extremes, survival wearing costumes, patience rewarded with spectacle. Each survives the same winters, the same forests, yet arrives with a different answer, a different shape, a different rule bent. So the question hangs there, quiet, heavy. When nature is boxed in by islands and time, does it become more honest or more strange? The camera drifts back. Snow falls again. A long tail disappears into fog, unfinished. A flash of white lifts off a rice field, then blush, soft pink bleeding into the wings. Mid-flap, mid-reveal, like a shader turning on late. You blink, still there, real. At first glance, it looks polite, almost fragile. Long beak, clean lines. A bird that seems designed by someone who really trusts minimalism. And yet, those feathers, that unreal wash of rose as if it accidentally dipped itself in sunset and never quite dried. Subtle, suspicious, a quiet flex. Daily life isn't glamorous, though. It's mud, patience, and relentless probing. The ibis spends hours wading through flooded fields, stabbing the ground like it's searching for lost keys. Worms, frogs, small prey hiding from everything, including this bird. Romantic? No. Effective? Barely. Survival here is a slow grind, like a desk job with better lighting. And then there's the social pressure. These birds don't breed casually. They commit carefully, awkwardly, courtship displays that feel like first dates with too much eye contact. Head bows, feather fluffs, long pauses, the kind that make you wonder if the moment already passed. Every choice matters. Because for a while, this species almost didn't make it. Here's the payoff. Under those white feathers is skin that flushes pink when blood rushes in. Stress, excitement, health. The color isn't paint, it's physiology. A living mood ring. The bird isn't glowing, it's reacting. Real-time emotion rendered in flesh. So when it lifts off again, white turning rose in motion, remember that this isn't decoration, it's evidence of survival under pressure. And somewhere deeper in these forests, things only get stranger. Something the size of a ping-pong ball rockets past your face, then stops, mid-branch, mid-wobble. Tail twice the body length, eyes like polished beads. It doesn't land so much as arrive. Physics negotiates, gravity sighs. Let's be honest. This bird looks unfinished. A fluff sphere with a toothpick tail stapled on at the last second. Cute? Painfully. Serious? Not remotely. It resembles a plush toy that wandered out of a gift shop and accidentally learned how to fly. And yet, that tail isn't decoration. It's a balancing pole, a steering wheel, a tightrope walker's secret weapon. Daily survival is a group project. Because alone, this bird is doomed. Winters are brutal, food is scarce, so they move together, little gangs bouncing through trees like living punctuation marks. They feed non-stop, no breaks, No lunches, just bugs, eggs, and the constant fear of being eaten by something larger, faster, and significantly less adorable. It's like working retail during the holidays, but with talons. Breeding season is where the chaos peaks. These birds don't just build nests, they engineer insulation bunkers, moss, spider silk, feathers stolen from other birds, hundreds of them. A structure so warm and elastic it can stretch as the chicks grow. Think studio apartment turned clown car. Everyone fits. Somehow. Here's the payoff. The Japanese morph has an even cleaner face, brighter contrast, and a more exaggerated tail than most of its relatives. Island life sharpened the design, made the cute louder. This isn't softness, it's optimization. Extreme energy efficiency wrapped in fluff. So when a dozen of them ripple through the forest, tails flashing, bodies bouncing, remember, this isn't chaos. It's coordination. And deeper in these woods, the designs stop being cute and start getting theatrical. A flicker on the forest floor, then color, burnt orange chest, slate blue back. Someone dragged a paintbrush through shadow and forgot to blend. It hops, freezes, watching you back. Long silence. Awkward. This bird looks overdressed for dirt. Too vivid. Too clean. As if it's supposed to be on a poster, not rummaging through leaf litter like a dropped coin. The face is sharp, the posture confident. It gives off the energy of someone who knows they look good, but won't acknowledge it, not directly. Daily life, though, is a grind. The Ryukyu robin works low, always low. Forest floor, dense understory, a world of damp leaves and hidden insects that don't want to be found. Every hop is calculated, every pause, a scan for snakes, cats, things with teeth. This is less songbird and more quiet employee avoiding office politics. Breeding season doesn't make things easier. Males sing from shadowed perches, soft, deliberate notes meant for very specific ears. No stadium performances, no volume, just precision. Dating here is subtle, like sending one carefully worded text and waiting hours for a reply. Silence can mean everything or nothing. Here's the payoff. This bird exists only on a handful of southern islands. Isolation stripped away competition and let color run free. No need to blend in when the rules are different. Predators fewer, niches narrower. So the robin became bold, but kept the behavior cautious. Flashy outside, nervous inside, and when it slips back into the undergrowth, color vanishing instantly. Remember this contrast, because further on, Japan's birds stop hiding their weirdness altogether. Something moves in the shadows, not fast, deliberate. A shape detaches from bark and leaves, like the forest briefly forgot what it was pretending to be. Blink, and there's a bird, or what might be a bird. At first glance, this feels unfinished. Brown, mottled, uneven, like someone hit random texture and walked away. No bright color, no obvious flare. Just angles and shadows stitched together into something that looks more like debris than life. Which, conveniently, is the entire strategy. Daily survival here is a masterclass in stillness. The Japanese night heron doesn't chase, it waits, motionless for absurd lengths of time. Eyes locked, body folded inward, pretending to be part of the environment's clutter. Frogs wander too close. Insects hesitate. Mistakes are made. It's the forest equivalent of pretending to be busy so no one assigns you more work. And then there's the schedule. This bird operates on off hours, dusk, night, low light. When most birds clock out, it clocks in. Feeding in near darkness means fewer competitors, but also fewer margins for error. One wrong step, one sound too loud, and everything collapses. Patience isn't a virtue here. It's rent. Here's the payoff. This species is so rare and so secretive that even experienced birders can walk past it without ever knowing. Not because it hides behind things, but because it hides as them. Its plumage isn't camouflage, it's misdirection. Your brain edits it out. So when the forest settles again, and the shape dissolves back into shadow, remember this moment. Because deeper into Japan's birds, some don't look unreal because they're bright. Some do it by vanishing entirely. A heavy shape thumps onto a branch, not gracefully, decisive. Then the color hits. Green, yes, but layered, glossy, almost artificial. Purple bleeding across the chest like an unfinished render pass. You pause. Your brain argues with itself. This bird looks like someone took a normal pigeon and unlocked premium skins. Chunky body, thick neck, built like it pays rent in bulk, and yet those colors don't belong on something this solid. Pigeons are supposed to be gray, invisible, background noise. This one missed that memo entirely. Daily life is louder than you'd expect. Deep, booming calls echo through forests. Low-frequency sounds that feel less like singing and more like a subwoofer testing itself. Feeding is clumsy, but committed. Fruit, berries, anything soft enough to swallow whole. No finesse. Just volume and gravity doing the work. Think grocery shopping when you're already hungry and annoyed. Breeding season adds pressure. These birds don't do subtle romance. Courtship is blunt, persistent, and unapologetically awkward. If there were dating profiles, this one would say stable income and leave it at that. No poetry, just presence. Here's the payoff. The green isn't for beauty, it's concealment. In dense foliage, the body disappears. But the purple? It's structural feather color, light bending at microscopic angles, not pigment. Physics, the bird isn't dyed, it's engineered. A walking optical trick wrapped around a very loud pigeon, so when it drops out of the canopy again, color flashing, wings pounding, remember this clash, heavy body, unreal light. Because further on, Japan's birds stop choosing between function and spectacle and start doing both at once. A small brown blur skitters across scree, then stops, breathing visible, feathers puffed, eyes alert. Wind howls, nothing dramatic happens. And that's the point. This bird looks aggressively average, brown on brown. Streaks where you expect streaks, the kind of design you'd swear you've seen 100 times and forgotten 100 times. No glow, no flair. It's the bird equivalent of office casual, comfortable, functional, easily overlooked. Daily life is a grind at altitude. Thin air, sudden snow, food that disappears without warning. The Japanese accenter hops and creeps along rocks and shrubs, picking at insects like it's counting loose change. No dramatic dives, no acrobatics, just persistence. It survives where flashier birds tap out, like someone who quietly thrives on a salary no one understands. Social life? Complicated and messy. Breeding season turns this boring bird into a logistical nightmare. Multiple males, multiple females, overlapping territories. A romantic system so tangled it makes tax law look friendly. Everyone contributes, everyone argues, everyone benefits. It's not chaos, it's negotiated survival. Here's the payoff. This species lives in places that look unfinished by nature itself. Alpine zones, volcanic slopes, harsh margins where mistakes are fatal. The plain look isn't a lack of imagination. It's camouflage tuned for rock, lichen, and snow shadow. Every stripe reduces risk. Every muted tone buys time. So when it vanishes again, blending perfectly into stone, remember this quiet design. Not every unreal bird screams for attention. Some survive by being forgettable. And further ahead, Japan's birds will remind us that strange doesn't always mean loud. It just means different. A burst of color snaps across the frame. Yellow belly, black hood, white cheeks. Then a blue-gray back flickers, and it's gone. Pause. Rewind in your head. That wasn't one bird. It was a palette swap. The very tit looks like it couldn't commit to a single design. Too many contrasts, too many decisions. It's as if evolution opened 3 tabs, forgot which one was active, and saved them all. Bold face, bright chest, cool-toned wings. Nothing blends, everything insists. Daily life is non-stop motion. This bird doesn't forage so much as ricochet. Bark, branch, leaf cluster, back again. It pries, pecks, hangs upside down like it lost a bet. Insects, seeds, anything edible gets audited immediately. The energy level is unhinged, like someone who replaced sleep with caffeine and curiosity. Socially, it's complicated. These birds pair up, but they don't slow down. Communication is constant. Sharp calls, flicks of movement, quick glances. It feels less like romance, more like a startup partnership under deadline. Trust matters. Speed matters more. Here's the payoff. The Japanese color morph pushes contrast even harder than its mainland relatives. Cleaner whites, deeper blacks, richer yellows. Island isolation turned the saturation knob up and snapped it off. Against winter branches and muted forests, this bird doesn't hide, it declares. Visibility becomes deterrence. If predators can't miss you, they hesitate. And when it freezes for just a second, chest glowing, head cocked, then darts away again. Remember this design choice. Loud colors, louder behavior. Because deeper into this lineup, Japan's birds start stretching reality not just with color, but with form itself. A shadow streaks past. Then the tail arrives. Far too late, far too long. 2 white ribbons drag through the air like someone forgot to crop the frame. The bird lands. The tail keeps thinking about it. This looks illegal. A small body hauling an absurd amount of ornamentation, as if elegance was added as an afterthought, and never tested for practicality. Dark head, pale body, eyes ringed in electric blue, and that tail, trailing longer than the bird itself, waving like punctuation that refuses to end. Daily life is a balancing act, literally. Flying through dense forest with streamers attached is a nightmare. Branches grab, leaves snag, predators notice. Every movement costs more. Feeding means quick aerial snaps for insects, darting out and back before the tail gives away the plan. It's like running errands in formal wear. Possible, but exhausting. Breeding season explains everything. Females choose drama. Length matters. Symmetry matters. The tail isn't about survival. It's about surviving the audition. Males with longer, cleaner streamers get the attention. Everyone else gets ignored, hard. This isn't romance, it's a visual resume. Here's the payoff. Outside breeding season, the tail shortens, grows back later. The bird knows when to tone it down. This isn't permanent extravagance. It's scheduled insanity. A seasonal flex that risks everything for a chance to pass on genes. So when that tail vanishes into foliage, last to leave the frame, remember this trait. Survival compromised, beauty weaponized. Because ahead, Japan's birds will take risk even further, until the line between elegance and absurdity finally snaps. Snow drifts sideways. A massive white shape lifts its wings, slow, deliberate, then jumps. Not flies, jumps. Wings spread like doors opening in silence. Time stretches. The ground waits. This bird doesn't look real because it refuses to hurry. Tall, stark, white so clean it feels edited. Black wingtips like punctuation marks. And that red crown, perfectly placed, perfectly still. Like a single dropped pixel on an otherwise flawless frame. It stands there, judging the landscape. Daily life is ritual. Long walks through frozen wetlands, careful steps. Stillness broken only when prey moves. Fish, frogs, whatever winter forgot to hide. Energy is conserved like money in a bad economy. Nothing wasted. Every movement has intent, because here, cold taxes everything. Then comes the dancing, and it's absurd. Leaps, bows, wing flaps thrown wide to the sky. Two cranes mirroring each other in a choreography older than city. No music, just wind and breath. It looks ceremonial because it is. Bonding here isn't casual, it's lifelong. One partner, one rhythm. Miss a step, and the deal might be off. Here's the payoff. This species came frighteningly close to disappearing. Habitat loss, hunting, winter scarcity. What saved it wasn't speed or camouflage, but patience. Long lives, long bonds, careful reproduction, the very traits that make it feel unreal, slow, deliberate, ceremonial, are the ones that kept it alive. So when the dance ends, wings folding, snow settling back into place, remember this scale. A bird that moves like a myth, surviving by refusing to rush. And deeper in this lineup, the designs get louder again, brighter, heavier, almost playful, as if restraint itself was only a phase. A branch bends, not from wind, weight. A thick shape settles in, feathers barely moving. Then the beak turns toward camera. Massive, pale, unapologetic. Pause. You feel judged. This bird looks like it was designed from the neck up by a completely different department. Soft brown body, calm posture, nothing flashy. And then, that beak, oversized, heavy, like a bolt cutter glued onto a songbird. It's the kind of face that suggests problems get solved directly. Daily life revolves around cracking things open. Seeds, hard pits, anything sealed tight. While other birds peck delicately, the grosbeak just applies pressure and waits for physics to give up. No finesse, no speed, just leverage. It's the avian version of using brute force because it works, and because you can. Socially, it's reserved, not loud, not dramatic. It keeps to forest edges and mixed woods, moving slowly, deliberately. Calls are short, unshowy, though energy is competent co-worker who never joins meetings but somehow carries the team. You don't notice it until something needs breaking. Here's the payoff. That beak isn't just big, it's reinforced. Jaw muscles anchored to a skull built for torque. Forces that would snap another bird's face barely register here. Evolution didn't make this bird faster or brighter. It made it stronger, quietly overpowered. So when it crushes a seed with a single motion, shell popping like nothing, remember this design choice. In a world obsessed with spectacle, this bird invested in certainty. And further on, Japan's birds will remind us that sometimes unreal doesn't mean elegant, it means unstoppable. Color detonates on the water. Orange sails, purple flanks, a white line stacked like decals. The duck turns its head, slow, and the whole scene feels like it just switched to ultra settings. Pause. That can't be default. This bird looks like it was assembled from leftover parts of other birds. Nothing matches, nothing blends. Feathers stick out sideways like decorative fins. The face alone feels over-designed. Stripes, curves, highlights. Too many layers for something that mostly floats and eats plants. It's the rare animal that looks expensive just sitting still. Daily life, however, is aggressively ordinary. Dabbling, foraging, waddling around forest ponds like a mall walker before sunrise. Seeds, acorns, aquatic plants. No acrobatics, no heroics, just calories and caution. The contrast is jarring, like seeing someone in a tuxedo buying gas station coffee. Then there's the relationship dynamic. These ducks form pairs early, long before breeding. They spend winter together, quietly. No drama, no flirting, just proximity. Like a couple that already survived the awkward phase, now shares a calendar. Stability matters, because raising chicks here means nesting in tree cavities and then asking tiny, fluffy bodies to jump. From height, immediately, no tutorial. Here's the payoff. Almost all that insane color belongs to the male, and only part of the year. Outside breeding season, the palate collapses. Browns take over, the sails disappear, the bird powers down. This isn't permanent flamboyance, it's a timed display. A seasonal costume designed to say one thing very loudly, and then shut up. So when the water ripples again, and the colors slide out of frame, remember this trick. Ordinary light, extraordinary presentation. Because ahead, Japan's birds will keep bending that rule until even normal starts to feel suspicious. A dark shape lifts from the canopy, wings beating heavy, deliberate, thump, thump. It doesn't dart, it doesn't dodge, it just commits. Like a moving piece of furniture deciding it's time to relocate. This pigeon looks serious, almost grim, deep purples, muted greens, a face that seems permanently unimpressed with whatever you're doing. No flashy patterns, no bright highlights. It carries itself like it's late for something important and annoyed that you noticed. Daily life happens high and slow. Thick forests, tall trees, fruit that ripens when it feels like it. The Japanese wood pigeon feeds methodically, swallowing large fruit whole and trusting its gut to sort things out later. No chewing, no hesitation, just confidence in digestion. It's the biological equivalent of saying, that's a problem for future me. Movement is costly. This bird is heavy. Launching into flight takes effort, planning, and a short runway. Predators know this, which is why the pigeon doesn't panic. It positions, chooses safe perches, minimizes mistakes. Survival here isn't about speed. It's about not needing speed. Here's the payoff. Those dark, iridescent feathers aren't for show. In filtered forest light, they dissolve into shadow and leaf gloss. The bird looks obvious in the open, but nearly invisible where it lives. This is camouflage tuned for vertical space. Canopy physics, not ground rules. So when it vanishes upward again, wing beats fading, remember this weight, this patience. Because coming up next, Japan's birds start trading heaviness for precision. Chisels, flashes, and impacts that feel almost mechanical. A sharp knock cracks the quiet. Not frantic, measured. The trunk vibrates. Bark dust falls. Then a green flash slides into view, clinging vertically like gravity is optional. Pause. Listen. The rhythm starts again. This bird looks like it escaped from a color test. Acid green body, red crown like a warning light, pale face carved with clean lines. It's too crisp, too graphic, like a character model waiting for animation to load. Woodpeckers are supposed to be chaotic. This one feels engineered. Daily life is precision labor. No wild hammering, no spray and pray drilling. The Japanese green woodpecker specializes in ants, thousands of them. It taps lightly, listens, then opens bark just enough to deploy a long, sticky tongue. Efficient, targeted, like using a scalpel where others bring power tools. Calories extracted. Minimal damage. Move on. The work environment isn't forgiving. Vertical surfaces, awkward angles, constant vibration. Neck muscles absorb shock all day without complaint. Imagine your job involves headbutting walls, gently, forever. And if you stop paying attention for 1 second, you fall, or starve, or both. Here's the payoff. This species is found almost nowhere else. Island forests shaped it into a specialist. The bright green isn't recklessness. It blends perfectly with moss trunks and spring leaves. To us, it screams color. To predators, it's background noise. So when the tapping fades and the green melts back into bark, remember this control. Strength restrained, noise with purpose. Because just ahead, Japan's birds will trade impact for silence, appearing only when the light drops and the rules change again. A wave of birds pours into the tree, not one by one, together. Wings whisper, branches bend, red dots flicker at the tips like warning lights on a runway. Then stillness. Everyone pretending this was planned. These birds look polished, too smooth. Feathers blended so cleanly it feels airbrushed. Pale browns, soft grays, a black mask pulled tight across the face, and those waxy red tips, tiny, glossy drops at the ends of the wings, like someone sealed the design with lacquer. Decorative, suspicious. Daily life is social chaos disguised as elegance. Japanese waxwings travel in flocks that move like rumors, sudden, noisy, and impossible to track. They descend on berry trees and strip them clean with terrifying efficiency. Eat fast, swallow whole. No chewing, no sharing, just communal panic eating before winter remembers you exist. It's like a free buffet with a time limit. Breeding? Unpredictable. These birds don't even show up every year. Some winters they're everywhere. Other years, gone. No announcement, no apology. Their movements follow food, not calendars. Try planning your life around that. You can't. Neither can their predators. Here's the payoff. Those red wax tips aren't wax at all. They're extensions of the feather shafts, filled with pigment and shaped by growth speed. The more of them a bird has, the older and more experienced it is. Status symbols grown, not worn. Age rendered visibly. So when the flock lifts again, berries gone, branches shaking, remember this illusion. Calm surfaces, hidden urgency. Because the final bird ahead doesn't arrive in daylight at all. It waits for darkness, when silence becomes the advantage. Dusk thickens, insects start buzzing, and two yellow eyes switch on in the trees. Not glowing, activated. A shape leans forward, and the night suddenly feels observed. This owl looks confused about its own genre. Long wings, slim body, upright posture. It doesn't sit like an owl. It waits like a hawk wearing an owl's face. The head is round, yes, but the stare is sharp and impatient, as if it's late for something and darkness is finally useful. Daily life runs on timing. The brown hawk owl hunts the narrow window between day and night, when insects are reckless and birds are tired. Beetles, moths, cicadas. It launches from a perch, snatches prey mid-air, and returns before the echo fades. Efficient, repetitive, like clocking overtime in a job only you know exists. There's no dramatic hooting here. Calls are flat, mechanical, almost bored. Territory isn't defended with flair. It's enforced through consistency. Show up every evening, hunt the same routes. Let competitors realize it's already taken. Social avoidance perfected. Here's the payoff. Those massive yellow eyes aren't just for darkness. They're tuned for contrast at twilight, when light levels shift too fast for most vision systems. While others hesitate, This owl thrives. It doesn't own the night. It exploits the transition, a specialist in moments everyone else ignores. So when the light finally dies, and the owl melts back into shadow, remember this final glitch. Not brighter, not louder, just better time. Because when you look back at all 15 birds, one truth settles in quietly. Japan doesn't make birds that look like CGI. It makes birds that learned how to break the render engine and live there. The forests go quiet again. Wings folded, colors dimmed, everything returning to normal. Or at least pretending to. You've seen the patterns now. Islands tightening the rules, isolation turning restraint into exaggeration, survival dressed up as beauty, or stripped down to nothing at all. None of these birds were trying to impress you. That's the unsettling part. Every glow, every silence, every impossible shape came from pressure, not performance. Time, weather, space running out, evolution improvising. And once you notice it, you can't unsee it. Ordinary trees feel staged. Normal birds feel unfinished. The line between natural and unreal blurs quietly. So the question doesn't end here. It widens. If this is what happens when life is pushed just a little out of balance, what else is hiding in plain sight? Waiting for the rules to bend again. Somewhere in the dark, wings move, not rendered, just real.